Present. President Bigay, not here. Mr. Guadiana? Present. Okay. That brings us to item C, our board norms. Number 1, actively listen to all perspectives.
Close the loop in responding to concerns and questions as a unified board.
Model the professionalism we expect from all members of the district and community, customer service orientation.
Number 4, assume positive intent.
Be positive and responsive.
Okay, and that brings us to item D, the Pledge of Allegiance and the New Mexico state flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico to be a symbol of perfect friendship among the United States.
Okay, that brings us to item 2, adoption of the agenda. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
I'll move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, the agenda is adopted, which brings us to item 3, public input. A, agenda items. Does anybody have? Nope, none online, Caitlin? Okay, thank you. Item B, any public input on items of concern? No, any online? Nothing? Okay, that brings us to 4A, the discussion and possible action related to selection process to be used to choose board candidate from qualified applicants. Make choice, nomination, or other at the next scheduled board meeting to be determined. We can go ahead and have a discussion.
Okay. So the first thing that the first blank we have to fill in has to do with developing the vacancy announcement and the media plan. And that would be under the superintendent or designee. So what do you feel would be an appropriate time frame for that?
Well, we only have 45 days to do this, and we've probably already gone about 10, possibly. So I would say let's open it up for a week. I think if we have some people that are interested, and we may have to do 10 days or something, but I would say, depending on the newspaper where we can get stuff published and get it out in time, I think that's key. But I think we should be able to get stuff out, tomorrow, and do that. So it would go out early next week. So maybe, sometime, fairly quickly there. So. Okay, so it'd be a Saturday paper. So, okay. So,
Caitlin, can you put up the calendar? Cool.
you know what might be convenient is if it goes out Saturday, that is the,
Saturday? Is it the 6th?
I think the 6th.
The 6th,
correct?
yes.
Yeah, the 6th.
The 6th.
If we could leave it open until the 15th, maybe possibly you could discuss when to hold the interviews at that regular board meeting on the 15th, if that would work.
That sounds good.
I mean, as opposed to that another special meeting to decide that.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay, so.
We would be able.
We're going to post the vacancy and media plan on or before. It's going to be the.
No, this is the date that we're going to be publishing and posting the announcement.
Right.
So that would be the 5th, you're saying?
No,
Well, on or before the.
on or before
Saturday's the 6th,
September
right?
6th.
Yeah,
Because I have the announcement on Facebook and on our website tomorrow.
right.
Right.
Okay.
But at
And then
least
the
on or before.
newspaper On that Saturday. So on or before the 6th?
Right.
Okay.
And we would be able to see their letters of interest and their
Yeah.
resumes and things like that prior to the board meeting.
Right.
So I'm thinking maybe we should close at the 12th then. That way we can have some time to like look over the information and things like that and prepare for the meeting rather than getting them on the 15th and still having the meeting.
Well, I don't think you're gonna select on the 15th. I think that would
But
be
that
a-
would still be we would
Yes,
still be
set up
doing the interviews.
So it's gonna be another special meeting, I think.
Yeah, we could actually go till all the way to the 15th because there's no review of anything at that point. It's just a matter of setting up the questions. And so there's not any reason
So,
really
yeah,
to
so
have
we just
it,
need to receive them by,
say, the 15th before the end of the
yeah,
day.
the 15th, but then you guys can discuss, I mean, and even if we hadn't received them, you can still discuss, you know, when you want to hold the interviews. That's typically done just that, correct?
Yes,
Just the interviews and the selection?
yes.
So,
Okay, so the superintendent publishes and posts the vacancy announcements on a media plan on or before September 6th.
And the media plan will be something that we can establish now, but
right,
you
yeah,
have to
that's
post it.
September 6th. Right,
Yeah, so the media plan will be the daily press,
Facebook and website.
and
And I will send it to the
very good, and on the individual schools.
Yeah, posted in individual schools? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we can
And-
send it.
There's also the county beat, or what is that called? Grant County beat? Yeah, yeah,
I'm going to put September 6th.
yeah. That's,
Oops, if 10 works. I'll borrow your 10.
yeah, so number, well, not the
And so we have to receive the packets. You wanted that to be,
day of the meeting, 15th.
September 15th. Okay.
Okay. To review and consider by
Could send it by the 16th.
September 16th.
Yeah, because the deadline is the 15th. Unless you want another day to, I don't know, the only qualification you're looking for is age and registration in the district.
Okay. Anything?
So basically, the 15th, the superintendent is going, or designee is going to make sure they're eligible. You know,
Correct.
do you live in the county or do you live in the district, whatever?
Well, that,
Yes.
Yes.
And
Okay,
then-
Charlie.
We send all the qualified candidates' interest packets to you guys.
so that could be
So
the
when do you
16th.
want them by?
The 16th, if you can. That's like I was saying, 16th you can have to review them, and then 17th to send them.
Would that be okay? Superintendent,
Superintendent can completed.
You don't have to do
On the 15th?
Well,
but,
No, we're
16th.
yeah.
yeah,
okay, so I'm going to put for the candidate interest packets, September 16th.
and the newspaper's here, so that information will go out sooner.
Are you sure, Charlene,
think
you
they have
don't
one
need that
coming out.
extra day? Okay, so then the qualified candidate notification will be September 16th as well.
So we will notify them if they qualify
Okay.
on the 16th. After she's reviewed them, you guys have the packets. And then our last one is, we need to set the date for interviews.
And that'll be a special meeting. No, it doesn't, 45 days?
Well, that's what we're allowed to have before we appoint. I would say let's do it as soon as possible. Number one, if we don't have a qualified candidate, we may have to reopen it, possibly. Let somebody know the people that are interested, so.
Okay.
So
So,
the superintendent, myself, or Ms. Fletcher will notify the candidates on September 16th.
16th or 17th? Do you need an
You need a
extra
full
day?
Well, we,
set the date for the meeting. When we know about
Well, okay,
Okay.
okay,
Okay.
that's good. So
So on-
you'll contact them before you send them a letter, okay. So the 17th?
Well, then it just says by the 17th. So I mean, if we're done the 16th, they can actually order.
Okay, by September 17th. Okay. So then on, the board meets in a properly noticed board meeting to interview the candidates.
Everybody have their calendars?
Yes.
Anybody have a preference for day of the week?
Monday, I think, is good, because that way the community is pretty
Mondays work
used
for
to
me.
Mondays.
Tuesdays aren't, yeah, Tuesday.
That would be good.
Just double check.
Got a little green dot on it there anyway.
That's the first day of fall.
That'll work for me too.
September 22nd?
Uh-huh.
Now, it doesn't give a time. You want to state a time? Same, 5:30, 5?
Five.
Yeah, we
5:30?
should set a time.
And we'll notify them. I don't think this is actually calling for a time.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. Is there any more discussion? No? Okay. Yes.
Hi. And just to get into it, or just to clarify. This is, you're, at the moment, you're looking to, select and prepare interviews with, candidates for the board, and you're asking and making sure that the press, are you asking for advertisements specifically or?
Well, that's what we'll put out. I mean, we'll pay the legal notification. But since you're writing a story, there's going to be a lot of it there.
Yeah.
And the reason we're doing this, just as a little background information for you, we had a board member resign due to personal reasons and was not able to get on the ballot due to the short time frame to the election.
No, he wasn't going to be on the ballot.
No.
Well, yeah, but his position couldn't be on, yeah, his
But
position.
even then, I
Sorry, yeah.
don't think we could have done it then either, because there would be 4 of us on the ballot at the same time. And that would interfere with the practice of continuity. That you wouldn't have, the continuity principle is that we have at least 2 board members staying on.
Right.
And then 3 being elected at the most.
Any more discussion? No. Okay, that brings us to item B, discuss and approve the process for filing the new board vacancy by the deadline of October 6, 2025. So now I can read this, right, Charlie? Okay. Okay. So we can go ahead and discuss our questions. The interview questions.
This here.
And everybody saw the piece here. This is basically the advertisement, correct? It will go to the newspaper
Yes.
with the dates and stuff filled in.
And I guess we should clarify how many times it would go in.
What did you?
How many times it would be repeated in the newspaper as opposed to just once?
Does it need to go in more than once?
Tuesday, and
Thursday, and
Thursday,
Saturday.
Saturday? That would be good. Okay, and then we do have the questions, the interview questions. And I think we should keep the same questions from the interview because it's more fair across the board.
Exactly.
Wait a minute. I asked for three questions to be included. And one of them had to do with, describe their experience in financial management, accounting and/or budgets. Two was describe their experience in management. And then the last one was describe their experience in working with state and state laws and regulations.
Well, with my experience coming in, I didn't know anything. So are we gonna just scare them away because they don't have the experiences of these positions? I think we should just stick with the ones that we have.
This is for the purposes of an interview. So if they say none, then that doesn't disqualify them. The qualifications will be the test for them coming to the interview. The interview is something that we can use to choose the better candidate. And I think those questions would be very related to choosing a better candidate.
The one question that I sort of see maybe an issue with, there's a shortage of teachers and substitutes. What role could the school board have in alleviating this situation? And your job's not personnel, so does that dip into personnel possibly? Or, I mean, and maybe it's not the hire, maybe it's ideas, so maybe it's fine.
It borderlines because we can't do things like what we're trying to do with the housing. We can't do things like, well, the 4-day week is one of the big incentives, but not like we can change that one way or the other. So really housing is the only thing I can think of. And other than that, I think you're right. That's probably not a question that would be something that we would delegate to the would be part of the superintendent's job.
Yeah, and I think HR department, some of that. So
Yeah.
like, when I read through those questions, I look at that and I don't want a candidate to think
That we,
they have control over some personnel.
absolutely.
So
That's a
I
good
would-
point.
And that's one that just, when I looked at them, I thought, is it going to give the board, the new potential board member, the perception that they can,
Alleviate a situation.
yeah, and I mean,
I agree.
I just think it's one of those that, I don't know. Now, did these questions come from legal by chance? No? Okay. I was going to say, if they came from legal for some reason.
Who did they come from then?
These were used last time?
Okay.
Okay. So, but like I said, number 4 just sort of bothered me a little.
And I am okay with scratching 4.
Okay.
So with scratching,
Well, I mean, that's up to you guys. I don't have a vote.
I'm okay with that because, yeah, I agree with that.
So, it
Yeah.
just sort of
Seems
looked
more
like
personnel,
right.
and we only have one employee. Really.
I mean, if you've got ideas, I'm.
No. I smile
I'd be willing
because
to hear 'em, I mean, how do we recruit? And I think, some of the housing stuff that we've talked about, maybe a recruitment thing. So, but yeah,
Ariana, what do you think?
it's up to you guys.
no, I'm thinking we would do that regardless, and so,
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
I would still like to get closure on what I suggested in terms of
Okay, but I think we should keep it to the 6, so now that without 4, because I don't think there should be an overload of interview questions. I think 6 is good. So maybe there's a way you could put your questions into in concise.
Give us your-
questions. Would that be possible?
sure. State your experience in finance, management, and regulations.
That did it, huh?
Yep.
I think I like that a little better than the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said, do you have any experience? Would
Or
that be okay?
describe your experience.
Describe, okay. So we put describe any experience you may have? Any experience you may have in
In finance,
describe any experience you may have in finance,
management, or
management,
business management, doesn't matter. It's redundant. And regulations.
any more discussion? Yes.
If it's not overstepping, what is the question that is on the scratch?
Yeah, and, but it is, there's a shortage of teachers and substitutes. What role could the school board have in alleviating this situation? And we're just discussing how it's more of a personnel issue and the board does not deal with personnel. The board's only employee is the superintendent. You're welcome. Okay. Any more discussion?
No. I'll make a motion. Do we adopt the questions with removal of number 4 and substituting a question for the applicant to describe their experience in finance, management, and regulation?
Do you have a second?
Second.
Okay. So then that brings, we are still on the discussion and the approval process for filing the board
We
vacancy.
need to take a vote.
Oh, that's right. See, someone to remind me. Okay, so then I'll go ahead and call for the vote to scratch off the number 4. There's a shortage of teachers and substitutes. What role could the school board have in alleviating this situation? And replacing it with the question for the candidate to describe any experience they may have in finance, management, and regulations. I had the motion and the second. I'll go ahead and call for the vote. Mrs. Harden?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Mr. Guadiana?
Yes.
Okay. That motion passes. And we're still on item B, and I will go ahead and read the checklist for filing the board member vacancy for the Cobre Consolidated School District. The deadline for filing the vacancy is Monday, October 26, 2025. October 6th, sorry, 2025. Board member or district staff sends a copy of the resignation letter to Mariana Padilla, Secretary of Education. At the board meeting on September 3rd, 2025, the board considers the process for filing board vacancy created by Board Secretary Terraza's resignation, including discuss and take action to approve the checklist steps for filing the vacancy, discuss and take action to approve the insertion in checklist steps, the deadlines for the following: publishing and posting the vacancy announcement and executing on a media plan, the receipt of the completed interest packets, transmittal of interest packets from qualified candidates to the board for consideration, notification of qualified candidates regarding time and place for board interview, date for board meeting to interview and select a qualified candidate and swear in. Consider establishing a date for the candidate interviews. Interviews must be during a properly noticed public meeting. Consider approval of a media plan, publishing and posting vacancy announcement. Consider approval of a checklist. Superintendent or designee publishes and posts the vacancy announcement and executes on a media plan on or before September 6, 2025. Superintendent or designee receives the completed candidate interest packets, letter of interest, copy of voter registration information from New Mexico Secretary of State Voter Services website, voter information portal, and declaration of interest on or before September 15, 2025, and reviews the declaration of interest and voter information to confirm eligibility. Those determined eligible shall be deemed qualified candidates. The superintendent or designee sends completed qualified candidate interest packets to board members for review and consideration by September 16th, 2025. superintendent or designee notifies all qualified candidates, qualified candidate notification of the time and place for the interview by September 17th, 2025. The superintendent or designee timely posts notice and agenda of board meeting, which includes interview qualified candidates for the Cobre Consolidated District Board vacancy, discussion and possible action to fill vacant board seat, swearing in of a new board member. On September 22nd, 2025, board meets in a properly noticed board meeting, open session, to interview qualified candidates with discussion and questions regarding the commitment and responsibilities, discuss and take action to fill the vacant board seat, swear in a new board member. The superintendent and designee notifies the New Mexico School Boards Association and the Secretary of Education of the appointment of a new board member.
Nicely done.
Take a vote, right? I mean,
Can we-
next item.
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
sure.
Can we go ahead and approve the checklist for filing the board member vacancy?
Could you read it again?
No. Do I have a motion?
I move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, we'll go ahead and call for the vote, right?
Yes.
To approve the checklist. Mrs. Harden?
Yes.
Myself, yes.
Yes.
Mr. Guadiana? Yes. Okay,
And
that
since the-
motion
since,
passes.
The the packets are due by noon on the 15th. I believe we'll have time to review them and then just be able to give them to you during the regular board meeting. Will that work? Because the board meeting's on the 15th, so, I mean, we meet at 5:30?
5:30?
Yeah, 5.
5 that day, right.
Yeah, so if that'll work, we'll just have packets for you, each of you, of the qualified candidates then, rather than scan them and send an email and that.
Okay, would this be including calling them to see if they're,
Yeah, that happens prior to, well, no, it happens after,
that happens?
After on the
Yeah.
16th.
but you'll have them, but then you, and actually it says,
That they're a voter, right, a registered voter.
and it says we just have to notify them by the 17th, so we can do it prior. I mean, we can notify them on the 15th, you know, as well. That, hey,
As long
you know,
as it's by-
Thank you for your application and that, so, you know, that's why.
The form that you're bringing is, on the clerk office and it's notified, you'll be good.
Okay,
That's what-
and can we advertise for that declaration is going to be available? Or is it going to be on our website for one?
Yes.
Oh, okay,
It's
they
in
pick
the-
up a packet to do the application?
Yes, a completed and notarized declaration of interest.
Yeah, just wanted to see the availability of it, but if it's in the packet, very good. Could you also have them at the school, at the schools? Thank you.
Okay, that brings us to item C, the board election of board secretary.
I nominate Mrs. Harden.
I second.
Yes, I agree. I'll step up.
Yes? Oh. Okay, so then I'll go ahead and call for the vote to elect Mrs. Harden as the board secretary. Mrs. Harden?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Mr. Guadiana?
Yes.
Okay. And then that brings us to the board election of a board member to be on the finance committee.
I will.
Okay. I second that. So I'll go ahead and call for a vote to elect Mrs. Harden to be on the finance committee. Mrs. Harden?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Mr. Guadiana?
Yes.
Okay. Congratulations. Now to my favorite item, adjournment. Okay, I'll go ahead and call for a motion to adjourn.
I move.
Second?
Second.
Okay, we are adjourned at 6 o'clock.
Cool.